Hi, this is Mia. I'm gonna take my sunglasses off. We need to look for, so I wanted to buy coasters with the $5 gift card from Kohl's. We need to get another ring light. I said I'd use this lamp. We need to get another ring light. We don't have to get it. I have a $5 coupon from Kohl's. Sometimes Kohl's sells stuff like toiletries and stuff. Let's see what Kohl's has. But let's do it on here. Alright. Okay. Let's go away from this email because it's driving me crazy. So I just did a almost 50% off this appointment, this first appointment, where it's going to take me 3 hours of driving, plus a toll, which I forgot to add in, which is $6, and it's going to be, how do you say, 50% off the mileage, which ended up being what, $103.75. And the regular IRS mileage without my base rate was $80-something just for the mileage. So if I was doing a job where I was getting paid mileage, but it's far to drive 3 hours. That's if traffic is good. That's not even counting having to stop, use the bathroom, and get gas. That's just, it's pretty much 2 hours and a half. If I did telehealth, I would do the appointment visit minus the $50. So this is still a steep discount. It should be over $300. This is still a steep discount, and my mind's telling me just hold strong. Don't ever go below this amount, and you have to get the right people. These people want to do a payment plan. I'm not really in the mood for that, but there's going to, now for everybody in this state, not for the other one because of the different insurance. This one's going to require a deposit, especially for a house call, especially if, it doesn't matter if it's house call or not, I rearrange my day for that. If it's a 10 a.m. telehealth appointment and I rearrange my day for them, and I miss out on something and then I sit on my computer and you're not there, that's messing up my day. Like, if I sit in my office and you do that, it's messing up my day. If I rent an office by the hour and you don't come, that's messing up my day. And I'm driving 3 hours plus, I just should, my partner wants me to think more positive. I think about how often I've got screwed over. Like, oh, you didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I plan on driving an hour and 40 minutes to your house, so I cleared my entire day for you. And I had to get my stuff prepped the day before and all this stuff. So it's my fault for not having a clinic. And I understand if and when I have my clinic space and they come to me, I'm still paying for the clinic. I'm still paying for the whatever utilities and insurance to insure them, so if something happens that they'll get compensated, all that stuff. Actually, that insurance and stuff is also 2 different kinds of insurance is also their appointments covered. The fee is covering that, which is also a protection for them. The fee is covering paperwork. The fee is covering me to be able to have a HIPAA compliant platform, EHR, to store your stuff and to have a personal telephone line, fax machine, so that I can send your stuff or scan it with my locked, devices, not using a public, thing, or, I had to pay the monthly fee. So everything, whether it's telehealth or not, your doctor is paying. So you don't want to pay $90 or $150. How much did you pay for going out to dinner? How much did you pay for your kids' popcorn when you went to the movies last night? How much did you pay to get your nails, feet, and hair done? How much are you paying to have someone help you with your health? Without your health, you don't have any other things. You don't need to hire me. You don't need to use someone like me that doesn't take your insurance. However, I can't be in the negative doing medicine and putting gas, $80 worth of gas in my car and not have you pay me. If you're laying on the street and you got no social security, no welfare, and I come to you and you give me a bottle of water and $1 because you're laying on the street with no shoes or socks on and you got no house, nothing. There's some sliding scale. Our teacher told us to get out of debt and get your income and start getting your retirement and then do cases like that. I have a heart for people. Someone's on the street, I'm not getting paid, but I got people that are driving. All their kids over 16 are driving $45,000 cars that they're paying cash for. So they don't believe in credit and interest, you know. Like, so I have to be careful. I gotta be real careful. I mean, you're gonna pay, like I said, your hairstylist, you're gonna pay tattoo artist, you're gonna pay the groceries, you're gonna pay McDonald's 3 times a day for 6 kids. This person went to school and exposed myself to disease so that I can care for you. So I'm just like talking in circles now, but I am so sorry. Let's go look for a ring light, and then we're gonna look for, oh, something weird happened. We're gonna look for some toiletries. Okay, so they do have them, which I'm surprised. This only has 2 stars. There's a little one like I had that broke. But it's $32, so that's not, it's not making me feel happy. Here's a $1,000 ring on sale from $4,000 or $1,800. You can see $18,000 stuff on the Walmart website. Like, they're not just the people that sell there, but actual Walmart jewelry. So this was $4,500 ring, white gold, 14 karat. Well, these rings are pretty. I'm about to be like, forget the ring light. Let's get a ring. Shower curtain ring rod rings. I think that's just a regular curtain. Smart ring lighting, battery powered step light. Or a smart ring, I read it wrong. Ring smart. And then there's a whole bunch of curtains. Alright, so I have this looks exactly like the way I had that broke. So what I'm looking for is the actual, not necessarily, I want to use it for the videos and for my store. I don't even think this is not eligible for coupons. It doesn't, that sucks. Not eligible for coupons. So I might not be able to use my Kohl's Cash. You ever have your coupons and you're like obsessed about them for over a month, right before they expire, and you go to buy something and you forget to use your coupons, and then you're like, should I just buy something in addition? Or like I was doing, had the animal food, I needed to change the order, and the morning I go to get rid of like 50 pounds of small animal food and actually add what I need, it's already shipped out, the thing that, and it's like, oh my god. That happened to me with ink cartridge, $67, and I intercepted the package, had it stopped, and they did not give me a refund. So it's bad enough if it gets sent without being used, at least you could figure something out, but okay, so what is in this cart? This is the problem with Kohl's online. Everyone wants to use the app. I cannot even see what's in here. Oh, some $18 worth of coasters. Why is that so expensive? Alright, this is ridiculous. I'm about to go take a nap. Oh, bother, this is ridiculous. I'll say photo. I was gonna say photographer. Mine is all funny. This is just a bunch of. Oh, that's a pretty picture. That's not just a picture. It's a picture frame with a pretty picture. The stock picture. I was like, I would think that's just an actual picture you put on your wall. It's like a succulent. It's a real nice picture there. But they're not selling the picture, they're selling the frame. So this is makeup for your photo, like to make yourself look better in the photo. Here's the St. Nicholas Square Doghouse Christmas lights, 2021, $4.79. That's ridiculous. Okay, so what if I just put light? Someone is using some different lights for their eBay. Oh, lights are really expensive. Oh yeah, let's do. Oh, I'm having like my heart is beating too fast. I don't have money for this. I have $5 and that's it. I almost have enough to get a $10 gift card, but it's still not going to cover that item plus shipping. So we're just going to look. I typed in light. I don't know what happened, but I see lights and then I see bestseller towels. I think we got this towel. It says wash before using. I don't know. I had two of them. I don't think they got washed. We have this towel on the stage screen. Different darkness so that it's getting confusing. We need everything to be embroidered, even if they don't say your name. Like put like some flower on it. Like you have the orange flower. When I was a kid, my bus was the orange bus. Could you imagine? Like they have pictures in the windows, and the picture on my bus was a fruit, an orange. That's what I meant. So it was like pretty easy for me. Thank God I had that orange bus for 2nd, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 12th, 11 years I had that bus. What a blessing. That's something to put on my thank God. Okay, so whatever I typed in, it's a bunch of t-shirts. Oh, I guess I typed in clearance. A bunch of t-shirts and I don't know, towels with baby clothes up. Used to be able to get these clothes for like, what'd you say, like clearance shirts only in extra tall, extra small, and small, or small. You used to be able to get these clothes for like $1 or $2. Oh shoot, that's like a men's tank top. That's not what I'm trying to click on. So this one shirt, you click on regular 15, then they have the same shirt, but this one has a bunch of different colors and sizes. So they have extra large. I'm gonna put it in my cart just for window shopping. I wonder if they have it there. It doesn't say right now. My computer is really loud. Find in store. Let's just click it because I'm pushing too many buttons. It's not even responding. What is wrong with this? It's like overheating, so I have to turn the fan on. This Lenovo. Read the reviews. I knew that it overheated. I knew that the battery life was really low. Just Just people tell the truth, and my partner. I was in a Zoom meeting, and my partner's like, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And so he's like, bye. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I was just like, I don't care, shut up. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever. Yeah, I'm listening to you, not. So I was like, gesturing like this, and that was his. And I was actually going to keep shopping, and I was going to try to look at the MacBooks. Because I know the MacBooks take a lot of. They can take a lot of different software and hardware and like the memory. Like I guess you can use, now it's easier, but you can look at their different things you come home and plug it in and it transfers files and uploads and this and that and make sure your printer works with the Mac and all that stuff. So I always think about the stuff that you might have to buy in addition to that. So there's an orange burnout shirt available here. Oh, Dri-Tech moisture wicking. So it's actually polyester. So I told you guys I was doing sportswear. I got too much. Like, I don't know what's up with this. Like, to me, it's like, is this just polyester? Is it just cheap clothing? Or is this cotton poly? They're trying to market it as sportswear or moisture wicking when it's just like, okay, we're not using cotton. We're definitely not using hemp. So I typed extra small. So they have black dye graphic, or sorry, pink dye graphic, black dye graphic, aqua speckle. Does this actually have speckles on it? Oh my god. I can't tell. Sometimes with these t-shirts, this one also says moisture wicking. So I'm scared that it's got like more chemicals piled on it. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is go to the store and see. So something told me to make coasters. So I don't even have a cup here right now. So it'd be big enough. You guys see me with my big red cups. It'd be like this big. Maybe, I mean, I could just do what I'm doing and put a paper towel. I don't want to keep using paper towels. So I'm like, we pay $6 and go to Walmart and get 4 coasters. So I'm thinking either use a washcloth and just stick it on the table, except they're slippery and the water will go through. That's the thing. I could do a, what do you say? I feel like just going and get a plastic lid or something, just some random stuff. There were these other things in there that looked like coasters. I'm actually going to ask my partner. They had these silver little tray things. It would be a perfect coaster for this. Actually, I'll bring them in, set it on the table. That might be a coaster. So we might have found something from the storage unit. So it would need to be washed. It won't fit my big cup, but it will fit this cup. And it won't fit any big cup on the, so I didn't want this condensation forming on any of the antique stuff. And I did find one of the antique things we were keeping a double, like, folded over, like, thick cotton blanket on. And I'd actually think that when I lifted it one day, there was moisture. So something snuck on it. So that, like, I didn't want my partner to be upset. And that happened with oil, or was it moisture? Because something happened with one of these French tables. I had a dehydrator, so we're basically using it as a kitchen table, and something got on it, and I was like, I'm cleaning it off, and I'm not making food. Like, I'll do it on the bathroom floor, or whatever, because we had one room and a bathroom. So we ended up getting a stainless steel table, and when I grew up, we had a glass table, and then my mom, for some reason, got rid of that and got a different glass table, so I don't necessarily know, like, about using the antique stuff, and the antique stuff is family heirlooms, so it's not necessarily like, hey, I'm gonna go shopping for this pristine thing. Not trying to say we're trying to tear it up, but it's like it's not something like we necessarily picked out, but it's being used between the shelves and the furniture. It's being used like regular, like we're living back in 1940. I don't know. That's not even an antique yet. So I don't know what to do, to tell you the truth, about. All I can think was this table here. It's kind of like particle board. It looked like some critter or fell or something. It's literally like particle board and wood, and it's supposed to be an antique, but I don't see how they didn't make press board in, what is it, 2022, in 2022, did they? I'm noticing some furniture I thought was pretty old, and I'm noticing after years of owning it, actually cleaning it and looking and realizing that it's press board or something. I gotta get my names: plywood, plyboard, press board. What is that manufactured? That big solder put together, that heavy stuff that gets wet and it swells up. I think I put something in the dumpster or something, the solder, and somebody pulled it out and put it in their back door, and I could see it swelling up. I feel bad. I don't know. We probably had an inspection. I feel bad. It was like a desk. I actually thought it was wood. We had some stuff that has like wood trim. And then you could see some really old furniture that looks like cherry or wood, like either old from the 1900s, not that old, like vintage, or 1970, 1980, 1990s, kind of older. And then stuff older than that, you can see like a thin, I want to say veneer, but like a veneer, like thin wood glued on to something, pine or something, I don't know. And so that's deceiving for me versus either a delicate, like the French style, like very thin, real wood, carved, ornate piece of furniture that's still sturdy, or like American homemade, or like artisan, I guess. That's what you make bread with, right? Artisan, like a little piece of furniture, a big piece of furniture that weighs a ton, you don't know what is that. Oak. You have the furniture that used to be a tree, and the press board used to be a tree somehow, or sawdust, I don't know. Any of that kind of stuff that has the formaldehyde in it. So I try to preserve the current earth by not trying to purchase new items, and so some of our stuff, because of inspections and being fast-paced, has gone to trash. Old beds and mattresses. It breaks my heart. I didn't have time to like wipe them down, vacuum and wipe them down, and even put them up for sale somewhere. And it breaks my heart that I've thrown that stuff away. I just, like, I wish I could take it to an antique store or something, like a big backboard and stuff. I gotta get something to eat, guys. I was trying to do this kale salad. It took on already. A lot of garlic. It's not working the way that one place has the creamy garlic. I don't know their secret, but it's dang good. Mine is just tasting like, it's almost like some of these creamy kale. It's like cream, like how mac and cheese could be creamy, like with Velveeta. It's like almost that consistency. I haven't figured out how to make it. Well, I'm scared now. Like, either maybe they put cooked food, or I don't know. Thinking of the antiques and the old stuff, my mother liked the older stuff, and she got some old stuff in the house that I grew up in, and then she pretty much kept it. That was the stuff. We had a huge basement, so I guess she removed that one table and put it. Oh, that table was nice. That table got probably destroyed. Table with leaves. Anyways, what about, say, the spirit guide? What is the ancestral guide? Because there's those words. There's the animal guide and there's ancestral guide, the spirit guide. What do you feel from your gut? Just because you are DNA passed on from your parents and their parents and their parents. What are you doing with listening to your own gut, which could be anything from hearing something said when you were a baby, when you didn't even know language that well. And your mind remembers it, to hearing grandma tell your relatives something, to cousins saying such and such, or protect yourself from crocodiles. Or your slave ancestors were doing this one job and they got ripped off when slavery was over. Like, there's different things that are external and different things that are innate. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a relative, but what about feeling like you're asking a higher power, a god, your god, the universe, for guidance in, like, say you're going in for a job interview I've never had a job interview where I really, really, really like, this was my dream job. I've had it where I'm like, let's see what happens. I've been guided to the spot. I've had jobs where it's like, oh my god, my bills are due, I need to get paid. 2 weeks, every 2 weeks a paycheck goes out. Let's see if I get hired today and come tomorrow and get paid in 3 weeks because I got rent due or we're getting evicted. So a lot of jobs are out of desperation, unfortunately, and it's usually that I'm not jobless. It's usually I have another job and I'm stacking them because the pay that I'm getting hired is down here, and the pay that I need for my experience and my education and my certifications is way up here. So what do you do if you're atheist, agnostic, or you have a belief in a different faith, or faith that could be any different faith or combination of faiths? So imagine yourself you're smart, you get to the place early. You already drove to the place to see where it is, what the traffic's like, what's the parking like. So you don't necessarily want to call and ask him. You could call and ask, like, oh yeah, by the way, that you're confirming this appointment, or I'm confirming this appointment tomorrow. We park, from what I understand, I park in the lot or in the street, or, or if you take public transportation. So say you get to this, say it's a bigger building. So there's people milling around. Say it's like a medical place or something. People are milling around. And you come in and you have 30 minutes. You got time to go use the restroom, wash your hands, just breathe and go sit somewhere. You don't want to stay outside. Maybe it's hot and humid. You don't want to get your outfit sweaty. Do you ever just go in? You don't really have to use the toilet. You just go in and sit in the door with the door closed. So just guide me to be able to answer these questions. Guide me to be able to be relaxed. And from one human to another human, or if it's a panel, guide me to higher power. If this isn't the right place, please guide me to not get the job. If this is the right place, please guide me to get the job. Or maybe it's your dream job and it's a perfect place. Maybe the time's not right. Maybe you won't get it because you're not qualified. And so you have to have that, not criticism, but yeah, the constructive criticism of what do you need to do between now and the next time this position's open. This is pretty, by the way, so I get distracted. I could see the copper in the turquoise. And it's hard to see with the light behind me. When did I start doing that bathroom thing? Was it because I was homeless multiple times? Was it because I was homeless with children? Was it because I learned to pray in different groups, faith-based and non-faith-based spiritual groups? What about when I went to Buddhist groups and I wanted to learn to meditate better? I was already meditating. I had a little bit of needing to have a certain spot to do it, and it was on a rug, and I don't know why I gave the rug away or threw it away. Why would I did that with a kitchen table once? Me and the kids were eating the kitchen table every single night, at least every night for dinner. And for some reason, I get rid of the table and the chairs. It's not I have a really discerning what to keep, what not to keep, and then letting other people talk me into getting rid of stuff that I'm using every day. Oh, you don't need encyclopedias. Well, me and my kids like to read. You don't need encyclopedias. So what did I do? I bought another set of encyclopedias on credit, so part of my student loan. And it wasn't even as good of a set. And there's some other stories about some encyclopedias that got stolen and lost, and I threw away the ones I gave away the ones that I didn't like as much, and I'm kicking myself because one had a bunch of really good story tales, and those are hard to find in my opinion. They're really in-depth 1930s. It's oh god, it makes me sick. God help me if I could find the rest of those books somewhere on this planet. But yeah, what do you do? I can only speak from experience. I can only speak from kind of learning a montage of what other people have said. But I was watching the Minnow Ponds Tarot talking about, I saw it yesterday, I don't know when it was posted, talking about people getting this internal thought. He specifically says, so I quote him, I think he has the title August 8th, or August 18th to 22nd or something was the title for Libras. He specifically is like, oh, have you ever had this unchanneled thing that says go to the bookstore, you don't know what's going to happen on the way, or go turn the TV on, but you're internally saying, I can't do that, I have too much work to do, I'm not going to sit and watch TV. But I was so feeling like that can be your connection to open the door. It's not saying you're going to go into that bookstore and on the ground it's going to be $1 million. That has a free sign next to it. First come, first serve, Good thing I can, But it could be you walk there and walk back, and it's uneventful. You don't buy anything, you don't talk to anybody. You got home safely, thank God. And then you maybe something subconsciously, a bird chirping on a wire, or a clock at a courthouse, ding, ding, or a church. Maybe something tweaks your thinking and you have an aha moment. Maybe not even that day, maybe in 3 weeks, maybe during a dream because you got out of your comfort zone or you got out. So I'm just building on that part. But it made me feel like we don't know. And that whole thing with trying to put the TV on and watch, there's so much culture. When I was in Portland in med school, people were like, we don't watch TV. I don't watch TV. I can't believe we don't even own a TV. I'm like, oh. And they could be sitting there on their MacBooks watching TV shows for 20 hours a day, even while they're in class, and be like, oh, we don't watch it, we don't believe in it. And you're like, wait, you're watching like every rerun and every modern show, and you can have conversations like, I have a TV, me and my kids watch PBS, OPB, Arthur, and Sesame Street on their days off of school, like, so we could like relax. We're all heavy thinkers to relax our minds and watch a couple VHS, when they used to have VHS tapes at the library, and watch DVDs from the library. My aunt and uncle, I bought a VCR with the TV in 2004, a used one, mind you. My aunt and uncle got us a dual DVD, VHS back in, 2006 or something. We had it hooked up to a tube, or cathode tube television that we still have, that I bought for like $20 or something, with some pillows and a VCR that my friend was getting rid of. And it had cuss words across the front that I put stickers on. Somebody carved a F word. Anyways, like, we still have that TV from 2004, by the way. But yeah, it's like, you don't know. Let me tell you that one story. And I've become that person. It's a blended faith. Which reminds me of my friends, having nature as her faith, that she's the more relaxed person that I know, more organized and relaxed and healthy person that I know. She has nature as her faith. And I was in a Christian church. I went into a Christian church, and the person who invited me was the person who was cheating with my husband. That became, I thought, my friend, who ended up falling for my husband, lusting for my husband. She had her own husband. And this is my ex-husband, by the way. I had a couple of things happen. So one, we were in this place, clean and sober housing for women and children, and these were all temporary housing, so we're still considered homeless. We ended up, I got into this depression. I don't know what happened. And prior to that, a few months or something, a year, I had walking pneumonia, which I wasn't really diagnosed that well. I don't know, the doctors were, I was seeing residents because I was medicated, and they didn't let me see any licensed, like fully licensed practitioners or any doctors. Back then there was more doctors than nurse practitioners and PAs, at least in my experience, but I never got, and they told me, we aren't going to let you see a doctor or a specialist for your condition because you're on Medicaid. We don't do that, so too bad. Go take care of your own health, basically. Anyways, I had gotten this depression. We also had a place where there was no windows on the side or the back. So it was a townhouse. A lot of townhouses have a front door and a back door, or at least a back window, which actually seems like kind of a fire hazard, but it was depressing, and it used to rain in there. So Portland, rain pouring in, and thank God we didn't put our TV right next to where all our electronics were on a TV stand thingy. Anyways, good thing we had it away from the window for whatever reason. Something in my heart told me. It's the first time I came home and saw water pouring in. Like, nobody could fix this. Like, you guys could have told me because I have my TV there. I would have ruined everything. I don't have money. I'm on welfare or student loans. I don't have any money to replace this used TV. Anyways, that's so rude. They should at least tell you that there's a problem. They probably don't want you to report them. Just had to keep towels on the floor. I think my furniture, I had like a big chair, my furniture got out. Anyways, that's a different story. I got really depressed in that place, and it was dark and it was messy. And my friend said, everyone who lives here's house is really messy. So think about feng shui and getting rid of that energy. Think about that. I think all the combination of feng shui was wrong. There wasn't enough natural light. There was old other people's stuff. That other people's stuff is probably in my, like, whatever I have, like, that stuff, it's stuff that I brought from my house, stuff that I have, the furniture. This is all kind of surreal. It's not surreal, but not concrete. It's not scientifically proven that I know of. So you bring in this depression, whatever, being a single mom, just like a funk. I hate using that word funk because I want to think of like music funk, not like funk, like poor funk as in stinky socks. Like, I don't like, not poor, but poor mood, poor, really low, really dark. It doesn't have to be dark, I guess. It could just be like, I don't feel right. So like, I'm kind of, that's what the word means. That's what it, you know what the word means. It's hard to use, they're synonym. But something told me to turn the radio on. I turned the radio on because I had got a radio with a tape player and a CD player. And was it Nicole Sponberg? I don't think it was Nicole. I think it. Oh my God, I forgot the song. I don't think it was Nicole Sponberg. It might have been Nicole Sponberg, but it was another Christian song. It was a Christian song. Oh my gosh, I forgot what it was. And they were playing the violin in the background. My kids actually had been violin students prior to that. Were they? What happened to their violin? I guess they took a break and came back to it. I don't know what happened to it. That's confusing my mind even more. No, they were. Anyways, we'll come back to that. Okay, so here's what happened. That song. Oh, I wish I knew. It rose me up. It rose me up, like, not physically, but my mood just came right out of like a living HE double hockey sticks. And I end up, God, I wish I knew this. Natalie, is there someone named Natalie? Christian song, let's look it up. No, it's not Natalie. Is it Natalie? Song with Natalie. I don't know if it's Natalie. That's what came to mind. I'm gonna check these songs. I'm gonna find that song. So one day I dropped. So that lifted me out. Not almost. Immediately I went from I don't know how long. I was just going through the motions of life, having these 2 kids, and boom, I got lifted out with that song. It's not this song Brave, because there's the Nicole. There's Brave by Nicole. I'll check it. Or Nicole Nordeman. I love that one. It could be Brave. It actually might be Nicole Nordeman's Brave. I think it actually was. I'm gonna play it when I'm done. Because Nicole Nordeman, I just keep on saying Nicole Spomberg. Who's Nicole Spomberg? Nicole Nordeman has the, like the techno-y line. Why do I have all these songs coming in? Nicole Spomberg. Anyways, I believe it was a violin. It could have been a violin. Oh, I said Nicole Spomberg. Nicole Nordeman. Resurrection. Oh, I bet you it's Nicole Nordeman's Brave. Because Nicole Spomberg has Resurrection with the techno beat. Okay, so I see the cover. So I take my kids to school, right? And I end up needing to go to the bank. And I'm in North Portland, right on MLK Boulevard. I call it MLK Junior Boulevard. And I end up at the bank, and it's like, say it's like 8:45. They don't open till 9, so I'm sitting in the parking lot in this old 1991 car. I don't know if I had the Toyota. I think I still have the Ford Tempo with the busted grill in the front because my ex-husband crashed it and used the money to buy a computer, and he busted out the window and he locked the keys in the car when we were in West Virginia. That car had gone through a lot, and my kids missed it when we got rid of it. When my dad got rid of it, I didn't agree to get rid of it. But another story. The radio 104.1 The Fish had a contest. Call in. I called in and like, hey, you're the winner. Oh my god. And I'm like, oh my god, really? They're like, yeah. And what's your name? Blah blah blah. And I was like, I can't believe I won. And then they're like, yeah, just come in to the radio station and give us your name. We're going to talk. I guess they put you on the radio live. Like, here, we're going to transfer you over to such and such. I was like, oh, thanks. Like, yeah, you just come in. We're on Lake Drive in Milwaukee, I think. It's hard to find the address, so they said, do this and do this, do this. And that was pretty GPS for me. So I went in the bank, did what I wanted to do, and eventually we went to the radio station, and I forget what the DJ, because I really like Pete and Brenda in the morning. That was a whole nother story. I had an issue where I could have met them, and I think I saw them and didn't recognize them. How do you always recognize the radio host when you hear them, you don't see them? So there's radio host in there. Me and my kids went in. I think I had my son in a stroller, or both kids were in a stroller. I probably had to push him up the stairs in an elevator. They were both stacked on top of each other, probably. I don't think I had the stroller at that point, actually. Anyways, different story. It seemed like somebody was sleeping, but the DJs are like waving at us. I'm here with my cute little kids, homeless, with old rags on that I got out of these old closets of these social service organizations or my treatment center. I had these clothing closets, this clothes like stacked up from 1960 something. I used to wear used underwear. That's how poor I was, guys. And look at the price of underwear, by the way, and you wonder why. Even back in 2004, why I had to wear used underwear. Thank God I had something. Whatever. Whole nother story. Laundry, whole nother issue. Quarters. So I looked in a box and they said, you get to have a CD. And then I think they gave me 104.1 The Fish t-shirt, which I don't have, and a decal for my car. Actually, I might have got the decal somewhere else. But I'm pretty sure I got a t-shirt and a CD. So I was like, yay, I won. And I'm pretty sure that this Nicole Nordeman Brave was in there. And I was like, boom, this is what I want. And I guess we played it on that little CD player, the one with the big bubbles on top, until we ended up with our other car where we could play the 2010 Kia Soul. Oh, I'm gonna cry. I was gonna tell you the second inspiring thing. Oh, so this is a lot of foundation of learning this Christian God and this Jesus God, and then I drifted to kind of the AA, NA God. I kind of had the NA and the Christian God together, and then I had the AA, like, God of my understanding God. I had to do that when the church kept screwing me over, and I had to say, I believe in a higher power. I had an event happen when I was a teenager that I can't explain that told me that whatever belief that was the belief for me. I can't talk about other people. When I had, hold on. When I had gotten, when I was getting clean and sober, I was still with my ex-husband and my kids were in the room, and I would wait for him to go to work. I would get up and make him a sandwich, which he said he didn't want. But I was like really a stickler for making him lunch and making him coffee in the morning and helping him find his shoes and socks and all this stuff, which was pretty much an enabling of act. But anyways, I had this like really deep sense of home and caregiving inside of me. God help me, I wish I could like make a living or make my home care myself. That's the problem. I do it for others, paid or not paid. Let me get paid, first of all, and let me do that for myself. Different story. I was watching Joyce Meyer back then. I think she came on at 5:30 or 4:30 a.m. I think it was 5:30 because Gruffalo Dollar came on the Christian Channel at 5 Pacific time. So I had the TBN channel because it was back then. It was still an antenna TV. I think we actually had some cable or something there. I don't know what happened. I think they gave it free with our internet. Comcast gave free cable really long, like in 2002. They gave free internet and cable because not many people had internet back then in their house. God, I went through so many things that I can turn my mind turns them into good memories from that church. I said so many bad things in my earlier videos, but I am about to cry with nostalgia. But anyways, it was just me laying on the couch, and the kids were still asleep, so it's dark outside. And a lot of times the morning news, I don't know, there was like that guy still on there, Andy something, he does like they do the traffic and the weather. It's the same guy, he's aged. It's been 20 years, it's been 19 years, or 18, 19 years since I started watching the morning show, Portland Traffic. And I started turning to the Christian channel, and kind of drifting off. And I remember Joyce Meyer's song. And I remember putting on a different time Christian channel before the kids got up, probably maybe 6:30 or something. Some pastor was on. He goes, "Oh, I'm in Vancouver, Washington. Oh, we have a potluck, or not a potluck, but we have a free dinner every, I don't know, Thursday or whatever. Come on in, it's free to all." I was like, Vancouver, I've never been to Vancouver. That sounds great. He's inviting us to church, and he kept talking about this ministry of having this meal together. And then he goes into, "Oh, by the way, I'm in recovery. I'm in 12-step. I don't know if he didn't disclose what he might have, but I don't remember what he, drugs, alcohol, doesn't matter. But he's in recovery. I can't believe it, and I'm about to cry, and I'm like seeing the pastor people like don't want to put certain people, pastors or doctors, at a certain human. You want to put them like up that they can't do wrong, or that they hadn't gone through what you. I mean, a lot of people hadn't gone through. They go to good schools. Their parents went to Harvard. They're going to Harvard. They're going to follow that family chain and keeping each other, their young, out of trouble and directed. Like very focused. I kind of wish, like, I don't wish my kids were. I taught them by example, but sometimes I wish I could have the money and the self-esteem and everything to. Anyways, different story. Years later, me and my kids are on our own in low-income housing and or housing program. So either homeless or low-income housing. I wake up and I put on, something tells me to, I don't know if I was already downstairs, something tells me to get up and go down on the futon. It's the place that we have, that we're still leasing now. And it's the old futon, because we got the other one replaced with the one from the music school. I was talking about violins. Another coincidence. And the director literally brought it in his truck to our house, and our other friend helped us get rid of the old one. And he told me keep the cushion because these things aren't comfortable. They need double pad. I had turned on, someone told me to turn on Joyce Meyer. I was kind of just lonely. I don't have friends, I don't have relatives. I was a single parent. You don't want to cry and carry on with your kids. They could catch you crying. They could see if your eyes are red or if you're tired. When you try to say, I'm a strong mom, I have to take care of you, no one else will. God, keep me alive, keep us safe, keep them safe, keep the money flowing so that we can pay this really extraordinary $1,000 to $2,000 rents at these low-income housings that aren't kept up, and all this high electric bills because the electric heat, and inefficient holes in the door where the sunshine and animals come in. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be a slum. It's a mediocre slum. Let's put it that way. It could be worse. Let's put it that way. It could be the sidewalk, or it could be worse. Think about that behind the scenes. I told you about behind the scenes of my doctor and the insurance. So think about that stuff too. But they do seem to rip you off. But anyway, that's a different story. So I end up putting on Joyce Meyer, and I just laughed to tears. And it's not her preaching and walking back and forth across the stage with the big jewelry and the cute clothes. It was her doing this scenario story, and it was funny, and it was humorous, and it was like a production, like a movie of these different things. When I used to watch her, she had at the end, like, donate $25 and you get this free CD. The CD is worth, or DVD is worth $25. To give more for tax donation. So if you give $30, you get this CD in the mail. So I said, oh my God, I'm going to get this DVD. I don't have the money. Sometimes it says a gift of any amount. So I can give $10 or whatever. So I end up getting this DVD. I still have it somewhere. And it's this humorous thing. Oh God. I laughed my way. And some of it is not that happy, but it's growth. It's connection. It's like, I feel like these mega churches, even the ones in Portland you go to, and you feel this, you hope that you can be prosperous. You hope that you can be healthy. You hope that you can have friendships, and people would take trips and go kayaking with each other, and rent cabins and beach houses together. And most of the people at these churches I went to were white, and I was very excluded. The most I did was hang out at the pastor's house a few times, and some of it's because they had Bible studies, so it wasn't just me. They changed the date. I go, I can't come, I have class. They're like, too bad. like maybe they changed it on purpose. But yeah, I ended up coming out of a funk that I probably didn't know I was in, would just laugh and laugh. And I played the video, and we saw Joyce Meyer live, and she told some of the stories. There's a story of the red dress, you could probably find that. And I had the woman pastor. I just felt like there's potential. It's like a relationship doesn't work out. You feel like in that church there could be a potential for a sisterhood, and you have women's nights, and you have women's retreats, and it's like out in the wilderness, and it's just so much that I don't get now. And you can get that in 12-step meetings, so I don't really hear about it, or I don't know how to deal with it. I didn't know how to deal with it then, having kids and no babysitter. All the other women were married and or had older children that could babysit, so I had to find some guy from the church that wasn't. It was really hard to find somebody to watch my kids. I'm not gonna lie. It was really hard. God bless the parents that need babysitters. I'm sure people, like, if someone asked me to babysit for a couple $, like, you feel like people want to put some money in their pocket and play with someone's kids, but it was hard for me to find a babysitter. And everything was so stretched out. Anyways, different story. The pastor didn't watch the video. She goes, oh, I'll just give it back to you since I don't have time. I was like, you don't have time to watch 60 minutes? Like, you don't understand. It's so funny. But we ended up at a conference, and Joyce Meyer came and told some of those stories. I didn't laugh. And everyone was rolling laughing because I'd already watched the video over and over again because I had woke up. Something told me to wake up and turn the TV on. It wasn't uncommon for me to turn the TV on, but sometimes you're just so tired you want to sleep, and you kind of, whatever, take it or leave it kind of thing. I haven't had any, like, lift me ups. I had one with the Attorney General of Secret Weapon. It was a free DVD, or free MP3 download from Amazon, or it was one I got. Somehow I'd get music, either free sample or from buying books for school. They'd give you a credit that you had so many weeks to use. So somehow I got this album that's about 60 minutes long. And one of the last times I really listened to it with earbuds, or probably I did over the ears because it has different sound. And it took me to a place where I felt like the cries of 1,000 slaves. And I was just crying. There's another time that I had met my friend, someone else, this young man who was a veteran who was some close calls. He had IED hit his vehicle. Not everyone survived, and he also had his double plate and his bulletproof vest. That's really heavy, so a lot of people didn't wear the double or whatever the one that he had on, extra plate, and he had gotten at least one or maybe two bullets like right to the heart, but the vest saved him. And I met this guy, and was it with him that I was crying? Or was it when I think it was when I was hanging out with my new friends. Or was it when I was hanging out with the other guy? Oh my god. One of these times where I was hanging out with somebody, after being alone and not having friends, I was crying so much that I lost 10 pounds. I was crying all the time, except for making videos, except for driving, and if I was literally at work. I've had some of these crying episodes. It was like a month of crying. I was talking to people in my media, like, are you having PMS or something? It might have been less than a month, but I remember the last part of it and losing all that weight. I did have my period. I was like, maybe that was it was like being around men. Even though I wasn't dating, I wasn't in a relationship, maybe being around men for the first time for 15 years, being away from my ex-husband after being in an abusive relationship and having him cheat on me and having a friend that was pretty much my best friend at the time cheat with him. It just brought up so much, and the feeling you get when you're talking to somebody that you think maybe be romantic, you get giddy and you get like, look at your phone. Did they text me? Oh, I haven't heard from them in 3 days. Are they out with someone else? Oh no, maybe they're sick. Oh, are they avoiding me? Oh, if they really liked me, that's all I'm going to say, guys. Peace.